Brock, you are joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Brock, we were just talking to you about your reaction, your thoughts to Pete Carroll being out as Seahawks head coach. And now we're asking you the same when it comes to another head coach here in Seattle, Kalen DeBoer, according to Pete Thamel of ESPN, negotiating with Alabama, an announcement, a decision expected soon. Now, we know that no meeting just yet. At least that's what's been reported. He's gone? Okay. Brock, tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah, it's just, who's left? Scott Service, watch yourself, all right? I don't know who else is left in town. So, I told you guys the other day, I was not surprised by Pete, just kind of the feeling and the vibe and where it was going. And then when the presser wasn't the day after or the next day, you just like, oh man, something may be brewing here. And it still is stunning. I mean, it still hits you. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I saw that coming. I called that one. This one over the last, 40 days, he's had a contract on his desk, and the most lucrative deal in the history of the program has been waiting there for him. He said, nope, I'm going to take care of business. I owe it to all of these guys, and I'm not going to let Jimmy Sexton handle all of that. And Jimmy Sexton is Scott Boras. He's the biggest power broker right alongside Scott Boras. He's an agent at CAA. He represents every prominent college coach, including Mike Norvell and Steve Sarkisian and Kalen DeBoer and all these little chess pieces that are moving around, and knows ahead of everybody else where this thing is going. And, got Norvell a nice raise at Florida State. I thought that made just geographically and history more sense. But the more that you dig into it, if you're Kalen DeBoer, kind of like Pete said to all of us this week, when this Seahawk job came available and Todd Lewicki and Paul Allen called him 15 years ago, he, talked to Glenna and Tater and others, like, we're going to take this shot. Let's go take this shot. Let's go see if we can do this there at the highest level. And I think for Kalen DeBoer to climb from where he's been all over the place, right, from Southern Illinois to Eastern Michigan to Indiana to Fresno to Washington, and starting it all out at the much lower level, like, okay, he looked at Grubb and he looked at William Inge and he looked at his guys and said, you want to do this? You want to take the shot? And I'd be very hard-pressed to believe, Bump and Stacy, that he looked in the mirror and it was his decision for him. I think this was for his staff. And I think that's why Alabama wanted him, why they're going to pay him a king's ransom, because no one, and I mean no one, is filling the shoes of Nick Saban. But Greg Byrne, the AD there, shout out to a former Arizona AD, C-Raj. Greg Byrne knew that not one man is going to do this, but maybe we have a chance if I get the whole village. And I get all the staff and all the time on task they have together and all the trust they have in one another that showed over the last 2 years in Washington. I bring that whole crew to T-Town down in Alabama, and we have a chance to fill the mighty, mighty shoes of Nick Saban.